This is the New Testament, the Message translation. Starts in Matthew chapter 6, verse 1. It says, "Be especially careful when you're trying to be good so that you don't make a performance out of it. It might be good theater, but the God who made you won't be applauded. When you do something for someone else, don't call attention to yourself. You've seen them in action, I'm sure, play actors I call them, passionate as long as someone is watching, playing to the crowds. They get applause, true, but that's all they get. When you help someone out, don't think about how it looks, just do it, quietly and unobtrusively. That is the way your God, who conceives you in love, working behind the scenes, helps you out. And when you come before God, don't turn that into a theatrical production either. All these people making a regular show out of their prayers, hoping for stardom. You think God sits in a box seat? Here's what I want you to do. Find a quiet, secluded place so that you won't be tempted to role play before God. Just be there as simply and honestly as you can manage. The focus will shift from you to God, and you will begin to sense His grace. The world is full of so-called prayer warriors who are prayer ignorant. They're full of formulas and programs and advice, peddling techniques for getting what you want from God. Don't fall for that nonsense. This is your Father you are dealing with, and He knows you better than you what you need. With a God like this loving you, you can pray very simply."
And you feel that what they're doing here goes against those verses.
I also feel they're sitting here judging. I'm sure many of you are familiar with the woman in the well, or the woman who was caught red-handed in the act of adultery. Moses, in the law, gives orders to stone such persons. What do you say? They were trying to trap him into saying something incriminating so that they could bring charges against him. When they say they're talking about Jesus, it's the Pharisees. It says, Jesus bent down and wrote with his finger in the dirt. They kept at him, badgering him. He straightened up and said, "The sinless one among you, go first and throw the first stone." Bending down again, he wrote some more in the dirt. Hearing that, they walked away, one after another, beginning with the oldest. The woman was left alone. Jesus stood up and spoke to her. Woman, where are they? Does no one condemn you?" "No one, Master." And Jesus said, "Neither do I. Go on your way. From now on, don't sin."
And you said that you've the people here that you've talked to and tried to hear their points of view, you felt that they ignored you?
Yes. Well, the problem is you're trying to argue with people who most of them have grown up their entire lives and not really seen the outside world. And so you're not really ever going to get through to them. I mean, you can't really use logic and, and parts of the Bible when they're just going to try and contradict you with it. What they're preaching here is that how you're going to go to hell if you do this and do that and do that, which is not the overall premise of the Bible, which is love, grace, and mercy. And what they should be out here with is that just Jesus loves you no matter what you do, no matter who you are, no matter what you've done, no matter what you will do, and there's nothing that you can do to separate yourself from God's love.